Hey, what's going on, everybody? Goofy Rexy here. Hope everybody is doing well, and wanted to talk about top team trios in Marvel Strike Force. But the reason why I wanted to do this video actually is because usually I get questions like, Goofy, I know I have to invest into XYZ team, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. I do not have enough resources to invest into all 5 of these characters. So out of this team, who are the most important characters on this team for me to invest into here? So that's the reason why I'm making this video here today, to talk about the top team trios, because usually teams have sort of like your top tier characters that are part of those teams, and that can kind of carry them until you have enough resources to then invest into the rest of those teams. So we're gonna be talking about top team trios here today. We're gonna be focusing on the characters that focusing on teams that are sort of like the top tier echelon teams, like your Darkhold, your Gamma, and we're going to be talking about the top 3 characters, top trios here for those particular teams. Let's actually dive right into the list right now, and let's talk about it, right? So first and foremost, we're going to be talking about the Darkhold team here. If I'm looking at the trios, the top trio that are part of this team here, obviously Morgan Le Fay, like no question about that here. But if I were to pick the next 2, I would say Agatha Harkness and then Wong are probably the next 2 characters here, the most important, and kind of fill out that trio. So Agatha for me is big because of her healing ability. You're getting a 35% heal. She's a lot of your sustain, right, with this team. Not just the healing, but then also with her passive ability here, you're getting that barrier. And then also the big one is the stealth, right? So when this character or any Darkhold ally drops below 30%, she's doing some stuff, right? So clearing disrupted, flipping 2 negative effects into positive effects, applying defense up, and then the big one is the stealth, right? So being able to cloak your characters, preventing them from being able to get hit on the part of this team. And then of course, since she's giving them a little bit of additional barrier here as well, it's kind of like the save me button, the emergency button here for the characters that are part of this team. So I think it's pretty big, right? And then of course, she can do some other things like stun, she can apply offense down, she can call for an adjacent Darkhold ally to assist with her basic attack as well. So I think all these things kind of compile into one, make her, I think, in my opinion, probably the second most important character on this team, but really it's mainly about that sustain, right? And then Wong also helps to sustain as well. So he's your protector, he gains taunt, super hard to get through him whenever he gets that taunt, right? So he has really high health, he has high armor, he's hard to kind of get through here. And then you're also getting like retaliation damage from him too, right? So if you're hitting any of the other Darkhold characters or him, he's gonna hit you back, right? With some piercing damage. And then he can also cleanse and clear negative effects off Darkhold allies as well with that basic attack, because every time when he hits with the basic, clears 1 negative effect from himself and all Darkhold allies. And he does this with a striker bonus attack as well. So he's a little bit of a cleanse that you're getting from Wong too. So for me personally, I think that these 2 additional characters here kind of make this team go. And then yes, you're getting this massive damage that you can get from Doctor Strange Heartless here with his ultimate ability. But ultimately, without Wong, without Agatha, Doctor Strange Heartless probably wouldn't even survive to then be able to get to his ultimate. So in my personal opinion, Wong and Agatha here, probably your next 2 most important characters that are part of this team. Now, if we're going to look at the Unlimited X-Men team here, that's what we're going to talk about next. Unlimited X-Men, obviously Rogue, right? We're not going to talk about Rogue. Yeah, she's beast, right? But then who are the next 2 characters, or maybe even just 1 character? I would say Gambit, right? That one's a clear standout for me. You're getting the out of turn damage from him, right? So whenever at the end of any enemy turn, attack the most injured non-summon enemy, ignoring taunt for 180% piercing. You're getting the heal block. This 180% piercing hits significantly harder when you have that extra boosted 20% or 25% damage from Rogue here with her passive ability. This hits a lot harder than it did before, especially when he also has offense up as well, right? That also becomes significantly more impactful, which he actually gets quite a few times with the Unlimited X-Men team. So the out of turn damage, he can also help to kind of sustain a little bit Rogue. So when he gets below 50% health, all right, that's not it right here. When he gets below 50% health or Rogue gets below 50% health, He'll apply stealth for 2 turns, also applies immunity as well, and will clear defense down on himself or on Rogue. And then a special ability, no energy here, but then whenever he has the charges, he can apply ability block. In Cosmic Crucible, he can apply this 2 times. You're getting more additional damage from him too. This ultimate ability here can hit really hard, 520% damage with an offense up, with the extra 20% boost from Rogue, can hit really hard and can actually really delete an enemy team here. So the bigger your gambit, of course, then the better your team is going to be off, because of just that extra additional damage. That retaliation damage carries a lot of weight. And then, although this team probably just has the top duo, I do think that Dazzler is at least a character that should be mentioned and a part of this team here, because she does help this team a little bit with sustain. She clears debuffs with her ultimate ability here, so flipping 2 negative effects into positive effects on self and all unlimited X-Men allies. In Cosmic Crucible, she flips all negative effects to positive effects here. She does some decent damage. It's not great damage. You know, a lot of it's hard to kind of see some of the damage output for some of these characters here, because these events these days don't really give you a lot of shards. I just recently got her to 5 stars, which I'm happy about. I might bring her up to 5 reds. We'll see, maybe not. But she actually does some pretty decent damage as well. It's just not as much as like Gambit, but I would say that she's still pretty important because of the cleanse. She can also reduce the speed bar. She can apply blind. She can do ability block. So I think in a lot of ways she actually does really help out this team. So I do think that she's at least should be mentioned as a part of that trio as well. And let's take a look at Gamma. So Gamma for me, this one, obviously Red Hulk, main character, like Red Hulk, right? And then you're looking at who are the other 2 characters that kind of make this team go. And I would say it's Hulk and then Brawn. Now Hulk I like just for the damage. I think he's the next highest damage character. Well, technically She-Hulk and him actually have the same damage, like in terms of like raw damage stat, but Hulk has a higher multiplier on his with his abilities, damage multiplier. So therefore I put him as the second highest damage dealer on this team. So for me, it's Hulk with just the extra damage and the fact that he can be annoying with the taunts. And then of course, if he can get below 50% health multiple times because he has the taunt, and then he has a taunt and he can gain the speed bar fill and gain the offense up and then do more damage. Like, Hulk does a lot of damage with this team and can be really annoying because he's constantly getting back his special because of the speed bar fills and taking multiple turns. So for me, I think Hulk is definitely a part of that trio. But then Brawn, I just love Brawn's kit for this team. He's really solid sustain here. The 35% health steal with his ultimate ability. He can remove all negative effects from all Gamma characters. He'll apply immunity, and immunity is really scary. If Brawn gets to apply immunity to Red Hulk, like, it's game over at that point in time. He has, like I said, we talked about the cleanse that we just looked at right here. He can also steal positive effects off enemy characters and then apply those positive effects and spread them all to Gamma allies as well. He can speed up other Gamma allies whenever they drop below 50% health, and then he'll give them offense up and then also death proof. He can also boost the team's resistance as well. So Hulk actually gets higher resistance whenever he gains taunt, and then Brawn will boost that resistance even more because of his passive ability too. So I think maybe Brawn may be the second most important character on this team, and then Hulk probably just for the extra raw damage here. Not that She-Hulk and Abomination aren't good, it's just that if you're looking at team trios and who to target at first, I would say it's Red Hulk, Brawn. That's definitely who I would probably focus on as your first 3 characters to build here, right? And then let's take a look at some of the new fad right now, which is on the Wakandan team, the War Dog team right now, if you want to look at it that way. But Wakandans for Cosmic Crucible, War Dogs for War, right? So this one is pretty obvious. Violence Entertainment has basically said, hey, it's Shuri, Black Panther, and Okoye, but we could talk about it really quickly. So Shuri here, speed up on spawn to herself, all Wakandan allies, the healing, the additional increased max health, the defense up, the ability energy, the charges, right, that she gives charges to the other characters that are part of this team. A lot of characters on this team benefit from having charges, so that's enough, right? legendary character. Obviously, of course, she's going to be a part of that top team trio. But then Okoye and Black Panther, boy, they work really good together, right? Okoye is insane because of the assist mechanic. Her basic is so powerful, being able to clear 2 positive effects, and the fact that she assists on every Wakandan ally's turn just makes it even more impactful, right? So being able to clear 2 positive effects every time, wow, that's a pretty big deal. She has these pretty good focus too. She can apply immunity as well to herself and all other Wakandan allies. There's a speed bar reduction that she has with her ultimate ability, and then she also can clear revive once in war. And I think Cosmic Crucible, right, with her ultimate ability as well. So a lot of this, so there's additional things that she does, but it's really that assist mechanic that is so impactful, especially being that she can clear positive effects every single time when she assists on an attack. And her and Black Panther just so dynamic together. Black Panther with his rework just got such a boost to his damage, or just a lot of really just solid damage from Black Panther here. The speed bar fill on kill is also huge too, like in the Greek raids right now, using them for the gamma raids. And you know, him, because of the triple tap, he actually gets a speed bar on kill a lot. So it's actually kind of funny to watch him and Okoye just basically taking turns, Okoye assisting on those turns, him continually killing characters, getting that speed bar fill. It's actually really funny to watch that in action here. He also gives offense up and counter to the rest of the Wakandan allies also as well. So pretty fun stuff there. But definitely those are the three characters, top tier characters that are part of that team there. And then you look at the Web Warriors, right? Like, who are the top trio? What's the trio here? The top trio that are part of this team. And this one you could probably debate me on, and that's okay. Ghost Spider, I went with here, Scarlet Spider, and then Spider-Man, and we'll talk about it really quickly. So Ghost Spider, biggest damage dealer on the team, that she has the most damage in terms of just raw damage stats here. They're a part of the team. The retaliation damage is big. You know, whenever an enemy attacks this character or Web Warrior ally, and she attacks with 250% damage. She has the ability block here, the slow. She can get an assist for Miles. Miles can clear a positive effect with that basic attack. She can spread negative effects here with her ultimate. This is a really good amount of damage that you can get from Ghost Spider here. So I think just based on the retaliation damage or other control mechanics that she has, I think that she definitely is someone that you have to consider here as a part of this team. And she can also apply blind too. I forgot about this too. Like with her basic ability, in Raids of Spider-Man is an ally, and if the primary target has slow, she can also apply blind as well, which I gotta be honest with you, I actually really don't utilize that as much as I probably should. And then Scarlet Spider, I have him here as one of the top trio characters as well, because of the sustain. This team needs him to stay alive, right? I mean, in these Doom raids, it's just insane. Some of the RNG that you have to face here, and in raids, whenever on a successful attack by this character or any Web Warrior allies in raids, he'll heal them for 3% of this character's max health. So the higher red stars that you have on him, the more impactful that healing will be. I probably made a mistake, I'll be honest with you. Like, I put red stars, 6 red stars on Spider-Punk. I probably should have went with Scarlet Spider, because this gave me a higher chance to be able to survive. I think would have been better for some of these matchups here instead of the damage. I probably should have went in this direction, but either way, I just think because of the sustain, he also gives them increased max health too by just being there, 30% increased max health with his passive ability. I just think that is so impactful. I just got him to 7 yellow, I think last week, and it's not night and day, but it's definitely noticeable in terms of the difference with my team actually being able to survive now in these raids. Especially if something goes awry, by having, you know, the additional ability to be able to actually get some additional healing from his passive kit there. And then the third character, I would say probably Spider-Man. He kind of gets things going, right? I mean, kind of starts throwing down these defense downs. It's multiple targets, is draining, gets the drain on those targets there as well. He can give positive effects. So in raids, when a negative effect is applied to an enemy, you know, apply a random positive effect from this list to all Web Warrior allies, so they can get defense up, offense up, speed up, deflect. What makes them really strong, right, is being able to do things like this. Low cooldown on a special as well. Basic is pretty good. His ultimate does a lot of damage. So yeah, I mean, Spider-Man, I think speed bar fill. I forgot about the speed bar fill whenever they dodge, is also pretty big too. So yeah, I think if you're looking at the top team trio here, I definitely think it's Ghost Spider, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man, and probably Miles and Punk will come after that, right? Let's talk about another team here, another Ray team, Bionic Avengers. It's another fun team to play with, but I'm laughing not because it's funny, but like Hulkbuster is gonna be a part of the trio. I just think it's funny when you think about this all. It's like we just talked about the top team trio for Darkhold, right? Agatha, terrible event. Then we talked about Gambit for Unlimited X-Men, not great event. And then here we are talking about Bionic Avengers, Hulkbuster, not a great event. So like all these characters that are really important to their teams, not great events, right? when you look at it that way. So it's not funny, but it's kind of funny when you think about it. It's like, man, they're so intentional about this, right? But for Bionic Avengers, it's Hulkbuster, Vision, and then Iron Man. Those are the three characters I think are the most important to your Bionic Avenger team. Hulkbuster because of the barrier. This team does not survive without Hulkbuster, right? You need the barrier. The higher the barrier, the better for you. So the higher stars, higher rest budget you can get on him is great, but he probably won't be farmable until 2016. So just don't get your high hopes where that is concerned. And then Iron Man, right? Like he does a lot of damage, but then also because of his passive, he gives the team more ability to do damage, right? But he himself is a massive damage dealer. You want him to be built up. You want him to be higher your team here. He also extends negative effects with a special. There's an insane, what is his ultimate hit for? 700% damage with the ultimate ability. And when this crits, man, I mean, I think the highest I've seen so far is maybe 1.3 mil on a hit. So, or maybe my eyes crossed that day, who knows? But I saw a big number that he hit for here. So that ultimate can definitely do a lot of damage, especially when it does crit. And then Vision, she's your cleansing, she's your healing whenever they get ability energy. She's a lot of your sustain for this team. So she definitely is high on the list in terms of investment, in terms of priority. Deathlock is great, but without Hulkbuster's barrier, without Vision being able to clear some negative effects here, without Iron Man maximizing his damage potential, Deathlock doesn't do as much. He's great, but he's not the top trio character that's a part of this team here. And then let's take a look at Young Avengers. Let's talk about them, another Scourge team here that you need for Rogue. So for Young Avengers, this one's, I think a lot of us know this already. It's Squirrel Girl, right? She's a lot, like I said, it's more sustained, it's healing, low cooldown here on her special that heals and clears positive effects. She can apply offense down to all enemies. She can fill the speed bar of other Young Avenger characters. Like I said, low cooldown with her special there. And she's just a lot of really, really solid, good sustain. She has pretty high health, so her healing actually carries a lot of weight as well. And I just think it's nice that she's so good, and she's also a farmable character in Marvel Strike Force 2. I actually really think that's actually one good positive thing that we have going for. That's a good positive thing that we have going for this group here. And then Miss Marvel, she's an off protector. She doesn't have the protector tag, but she's an off protector that protects other hero characters whenever they get below 50% health. She can throw a baton. She has the assist mechanic, right? The assist mechanic is really what makes this thing. One of the things that makes this Young Avengers team so strong is that she's able to assist on every one of their attacks. So you're getting a triple tap whenever they take turns, and you're getting an assist from somebody assisting and helping Miss Marvel whenever she does an attack as well. Very, very, very big. She can also apply ability energy too. Like it's a percentage chance, but she can also just have a chance to apply ability energy as well with her ultimate ability. And then we go, I think the third character, most important character, primarily more so in War, Alliance War defense, is Kate Bishop. She does though give offense up on spawn to the Young Avenger team, so that definitely does help out with their damage. So that 2-turn window there is pretty good. The blinds from her being able to flip positive effects is also really impactful and helpful as well. So for me, I mean, I think Kate Bishop would probably be the third most important character on this team. Echo does some good stuff there, but I think Kate Bishop does a little bit more. And America Chavez, with their passive, being able to give an increased max health, I think is good too. But if you were to ask me, this Young Avenger team, definitely Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel, and Kate Bishop are the most important characters there. And then if we run over to the Asgardian team, I swear I know my ABCs. Now I know my ABCs. All right, Asgardians, which we just clicked off of. All right, so Asgardians, let's try this again. The three characters here are top tier. I would say Thor, Valkyrie, and Mighty Thor are probably your top trio there, but Heimdall is pretty important to you just to be present. But if you were for the hero Asgardian team, I would say Thor, Mighty Thor, Valkyrie. So Thor, just a monster, like just so much damage from Thor here. So I would definitely say like he's like every ability does damage. Like his passive, when it procs, when he has his 5 charges, does an insane amount of damage. And then his ultimate ability here, right, does a lot of damage too. And he can also stun a couple targets. His special does a lot of damage. He crits a lot with a lot of his abilities too. Basic does a lot of damage, flips defense up. So it's a lot of really good, just massive damage output that you can get from Thor here. And Mighty Thor is helpful to be able to get him more charges. So it's not just charges now whenever an enemy hits hero Asgardian characters. Now he's also getting charges whenever hero Asgardian characters do attacks. Forgive me guys, it's like 11:44 p.m. when I'm recording this video here. So maybe my brain is shutting down, but you get the point, right? Like Mighty Thor helps with the charges to make sure that Thor is a little bit stronger, or can get his charges a little bit faster so that he can proc with his passive. And then Valkyrie, she's there mainly, what's really good about her is her passive. Either when she dies or when another hero Asgardian character dies, there's a 50% chance outside of war for these activities to happen. So to clear all negative effects, apply safeguard, apply positive effects, immunity, offense up and defense up, generating ability, energy, healing for 20% of this character's max health, plus 8% per charge. In war, she's guaranteed to do the list of the stuff that's above. It's not a 50% chance, it's a guaranteed chance. So that's a really strong passive. But then of course, like with her ultimate, she can apply ability block, she can deal additional damage if they have death proof. Special ability will stun a character, which is really good too. Long cooldowns, but can definitely be pretty helpful in some of these matchups. Definitely in the Scourge event, it was pretty impactful. And then we can talk about some other teams here that I won't pull up right now, like Weapon X, Omega Red, Lady Deathstrike, Silver Samurai, I would say are probably your top trio characters on that team. For Infinity Watch, it's like Adam Warlock, Gamora, and Nebula. But of course, if you don't have Adam Warlock, Phyla-Vell, Gamora, and Nebula will be pretty good too. I'm trying to think if there's any other teams that I can think about here that are important to mention. I can't think of any on the top of my head right now, guys. So let me know. Like, yeah, Secret Avengers, like we can talk about them, but that's a hybrid team. It's like 3 characters. That's already a trio. And then you plug and play Kestrel and Shang-Chi. I don't really think that counts. So therefore, I'm not really going to mention them as a part of this list. So that's it for me, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in regards to the top team trio list here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel here. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. Leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. That helps out the YouTube algorithm here, guys. Share the video so that other people can also come in and comment as well, because I always like to interact with you guys in the comments. So let me know. All right, but listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Until next time, guys, you guys be blessed. Y'all be safe.